Hi, everybody. Welcome to It's Bizzy. Here we go. Hi, everybody. It's Bizzy. It's episode 568, and I'm coming on here really late for Thursday. I normally drop the podcast at 5 a.m., but if for those that just listen to my podcast and don't follow me on social media, less than 24 hours ago, we lost our dog that we had for 15 years, almost 15 years. And the loss is so big. And the reason I'm doing the podcast is because I think so many of us lose our pets. And we lose them we have to get rid of them because life gets crazy. They get hit by a car. They're too crazy for your family and you have to do something different. And the feelings aren't different, I think, for any of us. It's like a dog is man's best friend and woman's best friend. And I remember going and getting her. At that point, I'd had a dog for 13 years, a yellow lab named Daisy, and Daisy passed away, and it was horrible. And then I rescued a dog, which ended up being really hard because the dog ran away all the time. And I had 3 little kids and I lived off of a kind of busy road. So I was like, oh my gosh, this dog, it's too much. I can't do it. It's too much. And then I was talking to a friend and she was like, I wasn't dating anybody. I didn't have a dog. And she was like, you need to get a dog. And I was like, okay. So I went to one of those places in this is 15 years ago in Lancaster. It's before all the puppy mill stuff I think came out and all that. But anyway, needless to say, we went and we drove down a long driveway and it was an Amish man. And I remember it was raining. It was like Deliverance. It was so dark and scary. And I went in and there was this golden doodle puppy. And I said, I'm going to take her. And her name was Penelope from day one. And we brought her home and she hid behind the couch for the first week. She wouldn't come out. And I got like a dog therapist to come to my house and talk to her and tell me if she, well, not talk to her, but talk to me and look at the dog. And they said, oh, she's going to be okay. And boy, oh boy, was that person right. And that dog came everywhere with me. Everywhere. She was like, I say she saved me and I saved her. We were just inseparable. Everywhere I went, she was like one of my children. I wouldn't go, we couldn't stay in any hotels because she was too big, way too big. And so she'd stay in my boys, she'd stay with my boys in their fraternity houses, in their apartments. And then in, they stayed with my daughter at the College of Charleston and she stayed there with them. She's been to like New Hampshire. She's been to Maine. She's been to Florida, obviously. She drove down the coast from Philadelphia all the way to Florida with us. And everywhere we went, she came. And she was the funniest dog. She was no one's stranger. She was never a growler. She was never a biter. She loved food. She might also hump you. My daughter reminded me that yesterday. She used to hump people all the time. I don't know what it was. She was confused if she was a boy or a girl dog, but she would hump all the time. And she loved to swim. She was always in the water, always. We rented a house on the Middle River in Fort Lauderdale, and she dove in all the time. She always dove into the water, and she would swim, and JF would have to go into the water and carry her up. So many friends, my sister-in-law used to babysit for her. Everybody loved her. Everybody that met Penelope loved Penelope. She just had this personality that was the best you would ever want. And the last not even 24 hours, because it didn't happen until yesterday at like 4 o'clock. And what had happened, she was getting older. She wasn't swimming anymore. She wasn't going outside very much. She definitely wasn't humping people anymore. And she was just getting older and older and older. But she was still the best girl. And yesterday morning, JF got up and he gets up way earlier than me. So he feeds them and walks them, and she wouldn't eat. She wouldn't go on the walk. She was just done. And I sat with her all day. We couldn't get a vet appointment until 3:30 in the afternoon. And I sat with her on the couch all day yesterday. I watched the US Open with her. I just loved her all day. She didn't want to eat food, but I fed her chicken. She ate some chicken. She had some cheese. And she just was so tired. You could just see she was so tired. And when we got to the doctor, the vet was like, oh my gosh, she's so old for Golden Doodle. I'm like, I know. She was almost 15. And she's like, you gave her a great life. She goes, I think it's time. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was thinking to myself, like, we can't do that as humans, right? We can't go say, all right, put something inside of us and we're just going to die. We can't do that. No. But with animals, we can. And it feels so much more humane. Even though I was hysterically crying, JF was hysterically crying. My daughter Hadley was on on my FaceTime with us the whole time. And we all were just a mess, and we all still are a mess. And the only reason I felt like coming on here is I just felt like I needed to say that if you're out there and you've lost your dog, it is the worst ever. It is the worst. And I'm not going to run out and get another dog right now. I have Lily, who's never been a dog by herself. So it's kind of an adjustment for her too. And I'm just feeling the feelings, and the feelings totally stink. Never did I think I'm going to go do something to myself, or am I going to inhale something or do something that's going to change who I am. I just sit in the feelings, and the feelings suck. They just do. They are just horrible. But I did have one thing happen this morning. I was meditating. I meditate in the morning. I didn't even get out of bed till almost 10, but I was lying in bed doing I got on Hallow. I do that every day, and I can't stop doing it because I always hear something that makes me go, yes, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. God's there. And I could envision Penelope with God in heaven. I just could envision it. I was like, oh my gosh, there she is sitting next to God, and she's happy, and she's wagging her tail, and she's big and fat like she used to be, and so furry, because in her older age she was getting so frail, and her eyes were starting to water all the time. It was just so sad. And I know she was ready to go, but it doesn't mean I was ready for her to go. Are we ever ready for them to go? No. This is a tribute to her, and a tribute to all you guys out there that have lost a pet, because it is by far one of the hardest things I've ever done. I have been in the fetal position most of the time. I did try to go walk Lily by herself. That felt really weird because I normally have 2 dogs instead of 1 dog. And it just felt so weird that I didn't have my big girl with me. I mean, to have a dog for 14 years is so long, given that, it's a big part of my life. She saved me. My kids went to college and she was still there. I always had her. I always took her to get groomed. She went to the doctor. We went on walks all the time. In these later years, especially recently, she couldn't walk like she could back in Wayne. In Wayne, she could walk with me for hours and hours and hours. But now, no, she couldn't do it anymore. She could walk around the block, and she was panting, and it was hard, really hard. And I just want to tell you, if you're out there and this has happened to you, or it's happening to you right now, you are not alone. Just know you're going to get through this. I had to get up and do this because I wasn't going to do the podcast. I was just going to sit in my bed, but I had to talk about it with you guys because you guys are my people. You guys listen to me all the time, the ones that are loyal, and I love that. And thank you so much. And I wanted you to know that you can get through this. And a lot of people have reached out to me on social media, and I thank them very much. I do. But today I'm not going to get on social media. I'm just going to drop the podcast. And I just want you to know you're not alone, because this feeling is so overwhelming and so painful. And it doesn't mean that you have to go pick something up and numb yourself. It just doesn't. These are feelings, and I'm going to mourn this dog for the rest of my life. I heard my daughter's girlfriend's mom sent a message about, your heart's being taken, and I have to share it with you guys. It says, I'm reading the wrong ones, you guys. This is my family group, and it said, her mom said, "I'm sorry to hear about Penelope. When we love our dogs, they give us 10 times that love in return. While they're here, and they take a little piece of our hearts with them over the rainbow bridge. May she rest in peace." And I'm going to end with this. We read this when we were in the office with the doctor. Penelope was still there with us. And we read Over the Rainbow's Bridge. And I want to read it to you guys because I know it made me cry, but it also is so amazing. And I want to share it with you because I think that if you're out there, it might help. I don't know if it will, but it's the Rainbow Bridge poem. Just this side of heaven is a place called the Rainbow Bridge. When an animal dies that has been especially close to someone here, that pet goes to the Rainbow Bridge. There are meadows and hills for all of our special friends so they can run and play together. There's plenty of food, water, and sunshine, and our friends are warm and comfortable. All the animals who have been ill and old are restored to health and vigor. Those who were hurt or maimed are made whole and strong again. Just as we remember them in our dreams of days and times gone by, the animals are happy and content, except for one small thing. They each miss someone very special to them who had to be left behind. They all run and play together, but the day comes when one suddenly stops and looks into the distance. His bright eyes are intent, his eager body quivers. Suddenly he begins to run from the group, flying over the green grass, his legs carrying him faster and faster. You have been spotted, and when you and your special friend finally meet again, you cling together in joyous reunion, never to be parted again. The happy kisses rain upon your face, your hands again caress the beloved head, and you look once more into the trusting eyes of your pet, so long gone from your life, but never absent from your heart. Then you cross the rainbow bridge together. The author is unknown. I'm thinking about everybody out there that's been this way again and is going through this now, and just know you are not by yourselves. You're not. It's really hard. But she's always going to be with me, and I'm always going to be I'm not always going to be doing this podcast, but I'm always going to be trying and strive to helping us all come together as one and love each other in a loving, kind way. Because that's all it's about. Just like the way Penelope loved everybody, I want us all to love everybody too. So with that, I hope you guys have a great Thursday. Happy Memorial Day. And I will be back next Monday. I'll be back Tuesday, actually, with a new episode. So until then, take care, everybody. Have a fabulous weekend. Bye. Thanks for listening, and please subscribe wherever you're listening to this podcast, or if you're watching me on YouTube, press subscribe. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.